Hey, Bitwellians and beyond. We are here with another recipe section right before we get to our time of meditation during this Lenten season. Yesterday we made the mashed cauliflower that we can put with other items to beef up a meal. And I promised to show you what it looked like once it was done. And so here it is. I added a sprinkle of parsley just to give it look and flavor. And again, you can add gravy if you'd like, or you can eat it just like this. This is how we eat it. And again, we had some Brussels sprouts and some carrots, and it rounded out the meal. So let me know if you have any questions. Now, tonight's meal is a combination of three things that you may not be thinking about. And so we're just taking regular potatoes, an apple, and some yams. And we mix together and we bake them almost similar to how we would bake yams, bake sweet potatoes. But believe it or not, you can use all three of these items together. So first we just slice our potatoes. Doesn't matter which way you do it, any way you choose is fine. I leave the skin on just because it's healthy, it's good for you. And so I do not take away the peel. So I'm taking 2 potatoes and I'm setting my oven at 375. And once I get this all cut up, I'm going to bake it for an hour. Now, my potatoes are already washed. They're already scrubbed. Again, in the interest of time, I can't do all of this and stay faithful to your time. So we just cut these things up and put them here. Now, the apple I do peel just because I don't want the peel in with my potatoes and my yams. The apple, you got to work fast or it gets brown. So again, I chunk it, definitely core it, and no seeds, of course. But I don't make nice, neat squares. I just core it. And I usually just use 1 large apple. The sweetness from the potatoes and the apple are going to be pervasive. So I just cut and core. And again, if you want to make nice, neat squares, go right ahead. Help yourself. But I'm not. And then with the sweet potatoes, I only used half a yam. I bought really big ones. And I wasn't sure. I'm going to use a different knife. I wasn't sure I needed the entire thing. It was pretty huge. I never saw a sweet potato that big. But anyway, here I go. And yes, raw tape, I'm being very careful with this knife. But again, these things were huge. I also leave the skin on the sweet potato because again, most of your nutrients are in the skin. And for the interest of time, I'm not going to cut up the rest of this sweet potato. Yes I will. Just to get it done. I mean, what am I going to do with an uncooked sweet potato? So, as we cut these things, as we prepare, I'm going to show you the spices I use. And once I get it in my baking pan, now I chose what I would typically put a meatloaf in, but I like this pan because it gives me depth and it gives me a bottom. Now, again, I've been talking about this Smart Balance butter that really works well. And so I put in as much as you want, but I want a good flavor. And this is going to taste very similar, almost to an apple pie, believe it or not. And so this is ground nutmeg. I sprinkle it over just to cover the top. I don't need it to go all the way through. It'll bake through. Ground cinnamon. Cinnamon is very good for you if you have diabetes. Daddy Prue told me take a teaspoon a day. Helps your diabetes. This is vanilla. This is not vanilla vanilla extract. This is regular vanilla that Gordon Barr bought for me on a trip to Spain once. And so it's more than a teaspoon, but I just pour it in. And then of course I talked to you about your sweeteners. And so this is pure brown sugar, not processed, not whitened, not stripped of its natural elements, just brown sugar. And again, I just cover the top because it's going to bake through. It's going to make its own syrup. Now you're going to put this in the oven at 375 and you're going to bake it for an hour. This is what I'm getting ready to do. But after 30 minutes, you're going to check on it. You're going to spoon the syrup over the potato mixture and then let it cook for another 30 minutes. Do not over stir it. Do not fuss with it. Just let it sit, because what you don't want to happen is the apples to get too mushy. So you don't want to handle them too much. But again, during this Lenten fast, this Daniel fast, this is a great kind of sweet dish that has everything you need in it. What you don't want to do is eat too many potatoes. This is a dish that has two different types of potatoes. You want to be careful of your starch if you have diabetes. For the rest of y'all, have at it. But for us, we got to be careful. I was able to get this done in time so I can actually show you what it looks like. If you can see, this is the finished product. It is incredibly good. You would not believe that potatoes, regular white potatoes, and apples could work together, especially with those types of seasonings. With the yams, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So, you got any questions, give me a call. If you think I missed a step, I probably did. Just give me a call and let's get ready for our hymn and our meditation.
You are holy, oh so holy. You are holy, oh so holy. What a privilege and an honor to worship at your throne, to be called into your presence as your own. You are worthy, oh so worthy, so worthy. You are worthy, oh so worthy. What a privilege and an honor to worship at your throne, earth below, but there's no one. There is no one, no one. I can search the heavens high, I can search the earth below, but there's no one. There is no one, no one. I can search the heavens high, I can search the earth below, but there's no one, no one. There is no one, no one, no one so holy, no one so worthy, no one so worthy, no one so faithful, no one so faithful. There is no one, no one so holy, no one so holy, no one so worthy, no one so worthy, no one so faithful, no one so faithful. No one, no one so holy, no one so holy, no one so worthy, no one so worthy, no one so faithful, no one so faithful. No one. I can search the heavens high. Yeah,
Take a deep breath through the nose, out through the mouth. Deep breath in, out through the mouth. Deep breath in, out through the mouth. Gently open your eyes. Be still. Have you really surrendered? If not, and if so, we go back tomorrow. Grace and peace. Let us begin our meditation, making sure you're sitting in a comfortable position, or you are laying down with your back flat. You begin with a deep breath through the nose, out through the mouth. Eyes open, breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Third time, breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Gently closing your eyes. Remember, if your thoughts wander, don't get frustrated with yourself. Just bring your thoughts back to your breath. Right now, you're noticing the natural pattern of your breath, the rising and falling of your chest or your stomach. Not trying to control it, speed it up, or slow it down. God has taught your body how to breathe all on its own. Next, we're focusing on the weight of your body against the chair or the couch or the bed or even the floor if you're lying on a mat on the floor. You are feeling the real weight of who you are in this place. Again, bring your focus back to your natural breath, the natural breathing, the natural rising and falling, the contracting and expanding of your body. And so now we return once again to the inner court of the tabernacle. We have noticed the golden lampstand, the table of showbread, the incense of prayer. Turn to your left and walk toward that beautiful golden lampstand. The lampstand is made out of one solid and single piece of gold. It has 7 lights, 7 candlesticks beaten into the one piece of gold. And the light you bear makes the presence of 8 lights from one single light. You are still bathed in that light of love, that love of God. That's what you bear. The lights in the candlestick, those 7 lights, are representative of the light that you bear. And so as you stand in front of that candlestick, the light you bear and the light coming from the candles are one. Just bathe in the light for a moment. Everyone you know who loves the Lord is covered in that same light. That light makes us all one. We are all of the same light. And when we're in the tabernacle, we share the power of that light. In the tabernacle in the wilderness, twice a day, the priest would come and relight or refresh the olive oil in each of the 7 lamps, once in the morning, once in the evening. They were only allowed to put freshly beaten olive oil into the candlestick. It was forbidden to ever let the flame go out. And so we will spend the next 8 days in front of the candlestick, offering our fresh light, our fresh insight that the light has brought to us. Today being the first day, we offer the insight of what surrendering our problem, our issue, has meant. We're talking to God in the light, and we're telling Him that we understand His illumination of the issue. He showed us that perhaps our hands were too far over, around, under, and in the problem. He showed us that we held it too tightly and too long. He showed us the many times He tried to take it from us. We couldn't release it. He showed us the number of times we promised to put it down, only to pick it back up. And so on this day 1 of our next 8 days, we talk about surrender with our God. All to Jesus I surrender. All to Him I freely give. I will ever love and trust Him in His presence. Daily live. I surrender all. I can't change a thing. I surrender all. I take my hands away. All to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. Stay still. Surrender. Return your attention back to your breath, to the natural pattern of your breathing. Feel the weight of your body